Florida's housing market is experiencing its worst crisis since 2008. And this time it's not just a simple correction, it's a complete collapse that's affecting thousands of families across the state. What started as a post-pandemic housing boom has turned into a nightmare for homeowners, buyers, and entire communities. The numbers tell a devastating story. Home values have dropped an average of 9% across Florida, with some areas seeing price cuts as high as $100,000 on individual properties. This isn't just about numbers on paper, these are real families watching their life savings disappear. Almost half of all homes now sit unsold for over 60 days, and more than 1 in 5 homes languish on the market for over 90 days. During the pandemic boom, houses sold within days or even hours. Now, sellers are watching their properties sit empty while costs pile up. The biggest culprit? Insurance costs have exploded from an average of $2,300 just a few years ago to over $6,000 in 2025. For many homeowners, their insurance bill is now higher than their mortgage payment. This isn't just expensive, it's financially crushing for middle-class families who bought homes thinking they could afford them. Meanwhile, builders are canceling projects left and right, buyers are walking away from deals, and warning signs are flashing everywhere. The dream of Florida living is turning into a financial nightmare for many residents. The 12 worst hit cities. 12. Green Acres, the quiet collapse. Green Acres in Palm Beach County looked like a peaceful place to raise a family. But 2025 has brought a harsh reality check. Home prices have fallen a devastating 16.5% in just 1 year. This means if you bought a $350,000 house in 2024, it's now worth only $292,000, a loss of $58,000 in 12 months. The insurance situation is particularly brutal here. Annual premiums on a typical $350,000 home now average $9,400. And that doesn't include the $20,000 to $30,000 in hurricane upgrades that insurance companies are demanding. Many homeowners are facing a choice between paying for these upgrades or selling at a loss. The neighborhood vibe has completely changed. Streets that once buzzed with new families and fresh landscaping now have rows of for sale signs. It's becoming a buyer's market, but even buyers are hesitant because of the overwhelming costs. 11. Bradenton, Paradise Lost. Bradenton's Gulf Coast charm can't hide the fact that this once bustling real estate hotspot is cooling down fast. Home prices have dropped 11.7%, meaning a house that was listed for $450,000 now struggles to sell for $397,000. That's a $53,000 loss for sellers. The city has around 3,470 active listings, and homes now sit on the market for an average of 68 days. Compare that to 2021. When properties barely lasted a week before selling. Insurance premiums have skyrocketed 45% since 2017, and homeowners face $20,000 to $30,000 in out-of-pocket hurricane mitigation costs. Entire neighborhoods are dotted with for sale signs, and the market has shifted from red-hot to sluggish. If trends continue, Bradenton could become one of Florida's most troubled housing zones. 10. Port Charlotte, a perfect storm. Port Charlotte is experiencing every warning sign of a housing crash. Home buyers have seen price cuts ranging from 18% to 20%, with some properties slashing six-figure amounts just to attract attention. The vacancy rate has hit a staggering 25%, meaning 1 in every 4 homes sits empty and unsold. The financial damage is enormous. $280 million worth of construction projects have been cancelled in the area. This shows that builders have completely lost confidence in the market. Insurance costs for hurricane upgrades now run $20,000 to $30,000 out of pocket, pushing many owners to list their homes before costs get even worse. 9. Cape Coral, the Canal City crisis. Cape Coral's beautiful canals and sunny weather should make it paradise, but it's become a real estate pressure cooker. The average home insurance premium has skyrocketed to $5,300, and for nearly 45% of homeowners, that insurance bill is actually higher than their property taxes. Inventory is flooding the market, up 89% year over year, with some zip codes seeing spikes of over 120%. Median home prices have dropped 8.2% in just 6 months, and buyers are disappearing. Many sales fall through because buyers either can't get insurance or walk away when they see the costs. 8. Deltona, the underwater crisis. Deltona quietly boomed during the pandemic as buyers fled expensive metros for affordable Florida homes. But now it's crashing just as hard. Home prices have dropped a shocking 18%. And here's the scary part, 30% of homeowners are underwater on their mortgages, meaning they owe more than their home is worth. HOA fees have jumped 42% year over year, and some communities are adding surprise assessments that leave residents scrambling. Showings have dropped by 62%, and realtors report entire weekends with no foot traffic. 7. Spring Hill, the secret no more. Spring Hill used to be one of Florida's best-kept secrets, but now it's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Nearly 50% of home sales are closing below asking price, with an average price cut of $45,000. In higher-end neighborhoods, sellers are slashing more than $100,000 just to get interest. Investor activity has dropped by 72%, which is massive. Why? Because the returns just aren't there anymore. Insurance premiums are surging, HOA fees are climbing, and 1 in every 4 homeowners is trying to sell, many due to unbearable insurance costs. 6. Palm Bay, the foreclosure surge. Palm Bay was once a hub for affordable coastal living, but now it's swimming in trouble. Foreclosures are up a stunning 45%, with more homes slipping into default every month. Time on market has ballooned to 90 to 150 days, more than double the 2021 to 2022 boom period. Building activity has screeched to a halt, with new construction permits plummeting 83%. HOA fees have exploded to an average of $850 per month, a jaw-dropping 185% increase since 2022. This is pushing middle-class families to the brink. 5. Tampa, the poster child's fall. Tampa was the poster child of Florida's real estate boom, but now it's showing the exact symptoms that crashed the market in 2008. Active home listings have surged nearly 60% year over year, and many homes go through multiple rounds of price cuts, with some neighborhoods seeing average reductions of $40,000 to $75,000. Insurance premiums are skyrocketing due to Tampa's coastal location, with some families seeing increases of 50% or more since 2022. This has led to a spike in listings from long-time owners who simply can't afford to stay. 4. Northport, the distressed sale capital. Northport shows how quickly a housing market can completely unravel. Once a magnet for out-of-state buyers and retirees, it's now dealing with 62% of recent home sales classified as distressed, meaning foreclosures, short sales, or desperate price drops. The average price cut is a staggering $68,000, and many homes go through 2 or even 3 price reductions before getting any offers. Insurance has become the final nail in the coffin. Premiums have doubled in just 1 year, especially for homes near water or without hurricane retrofitting. This is scaring away first-time buyers and pushing current homeowners to their financial limits. 3. Ocala, from horse country to housing crisis. Ocala, known for its scenic horse farms and peaceful suburban lifestyle, is now grappling with a serious housing downturn. Nearly 47% of active listings have undergone multiple price cuts, with an average reduction of $85,000. That's enough to shake even seasoned investors' confidence. The insurance nightmare is particularly severe here, with rates rising 156% since 2022. But it's not just homeowners who are suffering, the rental market is collapsing too. Rental vacancies are up 38%, and average rents have fallen 15 to 20%, putting enormous pressure on landlords. 2. Wesley Chapel, the suburban dream turned nightmare. Wesley Chapel was once the booming suburban dream, packed with shiny new developments, A-rated schools, and families escaping Tampa's rising costs. But the boom has turned into a major bust, with home values dropping 22% below their early 2023 levels. Think about that, a $500,000 home could now be sitting at $390,000 or less. That's a $110,000 loss for recent buyers. Listings are up 94% year over year, completely saturating the market and forcing desperate sellers to offer increasingly attractive deals. Builders are now offering wild incentives, some covering up to $75,000 in HOA dues, taxes, or insurance just to close deals. Yet even with these generous perks, 65% of pending sales are falling through, mostly due to insurance issues or buyer cold feet. 1. Winter Haven, the epicenter of collapse. Winter Haven has become the absolute epicenter of Florida's 2025 housing crisis, and the numbers are genuinely shocking. An eye-popping 72% of homes are now selling below asking price, with an average price cut of $88,200. This isn't a typo. Families are losing nearly $90,000 in value just to get their home sold. Insurance premiums have tripled since 2022, leaving many residents paying more to insure their homes than they pay in property taxes. Foreclosures are up a staggering 238%, with 28% involving homes purchased within just the last 3 years. This means people who bought during the boom are now drowning in debt they can't sustain. But here's the most shocking part: some HOA-managed properties are hitting owners with special assessments averaging $155,000 per unit. That's $155,000 out of pocket. On top of everything else, it's forcing homeowners to sell at a loss, walk away, or default altogether. Why this crisis is different? This isn't just another housing correction, it's a perfect storm of factors that have created a uniquely Florida crisis. The insurance catastrophe, hurricane insurance costs have become the primary driver of this crisis. Unlike previous housing crashes that were driven by overpricing or lending issues, this one is fundamentally about the cost of protecting homes from natural disasters. Climate change has made hurricanes more frequent and severe, and insurance companies are passing those costs directly to homeowners. The investor exodus. During the pandemic, investors flooded Florida's market, driving up prices and creating artificial demand. Now they're fleeing just as quickly, leaving regular homeowners to deal with inflated prices and crashing values. The upgrade trap. Many Florida homes need expensive hurricane upgrades to meet current insurance requirements. These $20,000 to $30,000 upgrades are often required just to get coverage, creating an impossible financial burden for many homeowners. The human cost. Behind these statistics are real families facing impossible choices. Many bought homes thinking they were securing their future, only to find themselves trapped in properties they can't afford to keep and can't afford to sell. The psychological impact is enormous. Entire communities are watching their neighborhoods empty out, their property values collapse, and their financial security disappear. This crisis is reshaping Florida's demographic landscape. Young families are being priced out, retirees are reconsidering their Florida dreams, and longtime residents are weighing whether to stay or cut their losses. The Sunshine State's appeal is being tested like never before.